Hi Gemini, welcome to your May 2019 New Love in May tarot reading. It's Rena here. I didn't say that the way I wanted to, but oh well. It's for people who are looking for new relationships, but as I have discovered, the past does seem to come up for people connected to a relationship that they have had sometimes. Sometimes I'm going to pick an additional card because of that Three of Swords. The heart of the matter is the Devil card, which is connected to Capricorn. The Devil card is a card of temptation, of lust over love, and things like that, of materialism over love. And so this could indicate somebody who is in that pattern. Usually I don't associate Gemini with materialism, but perhaps it would be having affairs, having flings, and not having long-term relationships. It could simply be that you are ambivalent about getting involved with somebody in a serious way, so it's easier just to keep somebody at arm's length by just having a kind of a casual relationship. And yet you may realize when you're doing that there's not that sense of connection, that it's superficial. And so it becomes like a vicious circle, because what prompts you to do it in the first place is fear of intimacy, and then you feel unfulfilled. So that might be what's going on for you at some level. Yes, maybe if you grew up without money, you may feel like you want somebody who has money because, you know that saying, I can fall in love with a rich man as easily with a poor man, which is such a cynical thing to say, but it's a saying, so just things like that. And of course, not to say, you know, I just want to make this clear, not to say that somebody who has who is well-to-do is a bad person, but to look for it in another person can limit your options, and you may wind up with people who are materialistic. Maybe this is the kind of person that you end up with a lot. Maybe you're not like this, but they are. In the past position, we have the Two of Swords. Yeah, this is ambivalence, not being, you know, and of course this person is blindfolded, so it's hard for them to see that they are kind of in this holding pattern, perhaps. And even like if that is a pattern of being involved in lovers triangles where you or another person is choosing between two people, that can also be something that Gemini engages in, because for the same reasons of not wanting to really get close to somebody, and that too can feel very unsatisfying and complicated and kind of like distracting from other things in your life. But that might be one of the reasons why you do it in the first place, because there are things that you don't want to think about. So everything has a payoff, you know, they have that saying, everything has a payoff. There's a reason why people do what they do. They're not doing it randomly. And the more that you understand your motivations, the more you can change those patterns. But it's not uncommon for people to kind of wander around and not know that they are doing certain things and keep doing them. And that's okay, because sometimes you have to do things a certain amount of times before you really get the memo about why it's a dead end. The higher message is the Temperance card, which is, by the way, it's associated with Sagittarius, so it could mean that we are having a full moon in Sagittarius in June, and maybe there's going to be some kind of an insight that you have at this time, because this is going to fall in your 7th house of committed partnership. So you may have an aha moment that allows you to put 2 and 2 together about how you have been allowing your life to kind of stay stagnant, or like not grow in some way. I'm talking about your love life and how you can move forward. Maybe there's a Sagittarius person, a literal Sagittarius person, which is your opposite sign, that is really the right person for you, and somehow you are kind of not seeing this person as a potential love interest. This could be because you don't really know what's good for you. The other thing about this card is the angel that has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. So having a balanced life, a spiritual life as well as a worldly life, an earthly existence. The Devil card is connected to Capricorn, so it has a pentacle too. Earth energy is represented by pentacles, and so it's not that we are supposed to just like totally deny the physical. It's about balance with the spiritual, and the same thing goes with your partners. Not just having one type of relationship over another. You may kind of veer between these spiritual relationships and these very carnal relationships, and not think that you can have both at the same time. The card that crosses you, perfect, is the High Priestess. So this would be saying that you're not getting in touch with your inner guidance system, that you are not meditating, maybe too much of that Gemini monkey mind, too much intellectualism and not enough of the spiritual, too much social, not enough inward exploration, and therefore not gathering enough wisdom, being too much in the world. And also not trusting your gut with people. Maybe you don't have as good a system of being able to see who is good for you or not, because of your own things that you're not doing. Like for instance, people who meditate a lot, they obviously are going to hone their intuition. And people who are very social are externalized, and they're not disciplined enough to really tune into themselves. And so it's very hard to hear your intuition when you're hearing other people's voices all the time. So by doing that, you will automatically know, or at least you will have a better idea of the proper person for you. The devil, who knows? The devil could be very cunning, that person. And you may have met more than one narc in your life, narcissist. And they may come across in a very appealing way. And then you find out when it's too late that they are evil incarnate. The advice is represented by the Knight of Wands. And this is about somebody who is kind of going through life in an adventurous way. This is a card of Sagittarius too, so there's a real strong pull towards Sagittarius. But Again, this card can also be about recognizing a player before you get involved with one. The Knight of Wands is that kind of person who has a hard time settling down. Now, you have a hard time settling down. So that's what I'm getting at here, is that because you may have a hard time settling down, you may unconsciously pick a partner who is the same way, and then you don't have to settle down, and you have an excuse. And you don't have to really, no one will make demands on you because you're the same way as they are. But then you may have this recurring theme of not feeling like you are with a person that you want to be. But again, this might be a Sagittarius individual that is in your life. Actually, the outcome card here is the Three of Swords. I picked an additional card because this can be a card of rejection and heartbreak. But this is also the card of three parties. So perhaps this is some sort of situation where maybe you have met someone that you really like, and they are involved with somebody else and you were waiting for them. But if that's the case, I think that you may decide to break it off with this person, even though it's a new situation, because you're tired of waiting, and also because you may realize that it was more or less than love with the Devil card. Obviously, this is a general reading, so you may recognize some of these cards as being true for you, but, say, oh yeah, but it wasn't lust, or it wasn't this, or it wasn't that. Maybe it was on the other person's part, though. Maybe they didn't perceive the relationship the way that you did. The Three of Swords can be cutting something off very cleanly so that it's not hanging around. And that might be what you decide to do. And then we have a card of beginnings, the Ace of Pentacles. And in love, this can mean a new relationship with somebody who is very solid, and the relationship may have legs, as they call it. This could also be a new relationship with an earth sign. Out of all the earth signs, I would put my money on Virgo with you, Gemini, since you're both ruled by Mercury. The other earth signs are Capricorn, the one that's the Devil card connects with, and Taurus. Okay, that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.